Welcome to season 3 of Win, Make, Give. Chad Himes here, and I'm flying solo. Not solo as you're going to just listen to a monologue from me. I mean solo on an interview. Now, why am I flying solo as we're here in season 3? Other than the fact that maybe Bob's on vacation? He's not, folks. He's really not. I just didn't invite him to the party. Why? Because 3 is already crowded enough. And that's right. It's more than just me here. I've got not one, 2 amazing guests for you on this episode of Win, Make, Give. And I didn't think 4 would fit. So here we go. We're going to jump into it. Season 3, we're focused on the make part of Win, Make, Give. And what do I mean by that? I mean, we're here to talk with people who are helping us make wealth. We're talking to people who are making a difference. And we're talking to people who want to pour into you in season 3. And I am so excited to bring to the Win, Make, Give podcast for this interview, Jennie Locke and Calvin Chin. Welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast.
Awesome, Chad. Well, thanks for having us, man. And it is a nice menage a trois of a podcast, man. We're pumped.
We're going to have a great time today, and there's going to be times when we're all going to talk over each other, audience. Just be ready for it, right? It's going to happen. We all have an amazing thought, or I want to ask another question. They're still talking. We're going to make this work. It's not the same as how when Ben, Bob, and I are all in the room together and Ben actually literally just throw things at us. This is a little different, yet it's going to be amazing content we're going to bring you. You know I don't like to read bios. You know if you're a listener of Win, Make, Give, I'm not going to sit here and tell you who we're talking to. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and I'm going to go with ladies first because it was a lesson I was taught early in life. So, Jennie, welcome to the Win, Make, Give podcast. Tell the audience who the heck you are and why you're here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chad. It's been an honor. I know you held a panel for me years ago. And just to give an introduction, I'm Jennie Locke from the block, from Brooklyn, New York originally. And originally started in hustling and selling shoes when I was 13 years old, and built a sales acumen and selling candy and selling prom tickets and all these different things. So sales is in my background. So when I graduated college, I had an option of either teaching at Teach for America or go sell at Oracle Technology Sales. My dad said, "Hey, I didn't pay for your USC college tuition to go become a teacher. You're not going to be able to pay off your student debt. So go ahead and go into sales." And I was like, okay. And that's actually where I met Calvin, my husband, here today. And we met at the Oracle gym, lifting weights and in abs class, and made a love story from there and built our wealth. And through real estate, through educational platforms, and just some other background. I was also awarded the 30 Under 30 National Association of Realtors and Rookie of the Year within our company. And now we have close to 160 plus units as a couple. And we're just under 30 and 29 years old.
Wait a minute. 160 units, meaning you own 160 units?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. All right, folks. So you are here today to learn how to make wealth, because if these two are running around at age 30, holding 160 doors already in their portfolio, what could you be doing in the next few years? Now, before we go over to Calvin and I get to hear his introduction, a little bit about him, Jennie, let me ask you one thing. What's the best candy that's out there? I mean, if you were selling candy, what was the easiest sale?
Twix is my favorite. And
That's your favorite. Was that the easiest sale because it was your favorite, or is that just your favorite?
Maybe I would buy the candy for myself sometimes, but not sell it. And then there's also Twix Ice Cream. If you haven't had Twix Ice Cream, it's a game changer.
Okay, I have not had Twix Ice Cream. We do like to talk about our ice cream. Twix is one of my favorite candy bars as well. I'll tell you a little insight into me. I have some weird compulsion when it comes to candy bars that are layered like Twix and Kit Kat. I actually eat them top down. I don't eat them end to end. I eat the caramel off it and then I work. It's weird, Jennie. Give it a try though next time you're having a Twix bar. All right, let's go to the other part of the what was that wedding hashtag I heard, Calvin, that you guys said is going to be the hashtag? You got to share it with me again.
Oh, man, it's my last name's Chin, so we're thinking double chins right there.
Love it. Hashtag double chin. All right, the other half of the double chin team here. Calvin, welcome to Win, Make, Give. Tell the audience who the heck you are and why you're here, other than the fact that you're marrying a beautiful woman who knows what she's doing in real estate.
which first of all, I gotta love, man. You got a system for everything, huh? Even how you eat Kit Kat bars. So
There
that's
you
something
go.
that everyone can learn right there. And yeah, for me, I mean, Jenny said a lot of it. I'm just happy that she said yes, and I got through the due diligence period of marriage, of being engaged to get to that point. So that's awesome. But I think the story of how we even met was even more crazy than that. I mean, she was probably just helping me spot me when I was dying, lifting weights. So that's really the true story there. But I think for a lot of people too, I mean, I came from a background where, I was always taught that, you want to get good grades, right? To go to a good school and then get a good job and, climb the corporate ladder until you're 65 years old. You have a golden retriever, 2.5 kids and no hair, right?
Yep.
And so that's what I always thought. That was my path in life, I thought, right? I thought that was quote unquote success. And that's what I did, right? I got decent grades, went to a good enough school to get me into a good job at Oracle, where I met Jenny in tech, and started climbing the corporate ladder. And what I realized there was, holy crap! Like, this can't be what my life is going to be like for the rest of my life, right? Like on my tombstone, we'll read worked 35 years at Oracle, right? And to be honest, that scared the crap out of me. I'm sure a lot of your listeners may feel the same way too. So I think, Jenny and I really started to think about, well, what are really important in life, right? What's real wealth, like you said, right? And really that's time and energy back. And so we were like, all right, how do I get our time and energy back, right? So, we looked at stocks, looked at cryptocurrency, looked at real estate, and kind of settled on real estate. It was something that we actually understood, something that, it's tangible, we could touch, and started investing in that. And like Jenny said, got to a point where, did we make a lot of mistakes along the way? Yes, but we got to a point where we scaled our business to about 161 doors. So
wow. Okay, so let's start right there with something that Calvin just said. Did we make some mistakes? Everybody out there it's probably the biggest fear. I mean, real estate's not a small investment. It's not like, oh, buy some penny stock, right? It's not like go buy some blue chip stock, even though people who understand real estate know it's always going to end up going up. So in theory, it's a blue chip stock. Yet, who wants to tell me, give me a mistake that comes to mind when I say, what was a mistake you made that you've learned from that our audience is definitely going to thank you for sharing with them and saving them from doing?
yeah, I could jump in, Jenny, if that's cool. But I think our very first mistake was our biggest mistake, and honestly, it wasn't a mistake. It was the best learning lesson that we ever had, right? So when we decided to get into real estate, I think we did what everyone does. They read the books, right? They read Rich Dad Poor Dad. They listen to all the podcasts, When May Give, all that stuff, and we started to educate ourselves. And to be fully transparent, like I always felt like I wasn't like confident enough, right? I felt like I had imposter syndrome. I was like, you know what? I could never be the Ben Kinneys of the world. I can't be the Grant Cardones of the world. Like, that's not me. And so what we decided to do was, hey, let's maybe take the easy way out, right? The easy way out for us was, hey, we had saved about 100K, right? And what if we partnered with an investor, a flipper, right, in San Francisco, gave them money as a private money lender, and we could be real estate investors that way, right? And so that's what we did. We gave 100K handshake deal, right? To be a private money lender on a flip in San Francisco, and the flip went fine, right? Sold for a profit. We were excited. Cool. We'll pick up a check for our first real estate investments profit. And she was like, "Hey, actually, I don't have your money. I actually moved your money to a project in Reno, right? Without ever asking us, right?" And that was 7 years ago, and we haven't seen the money since, right? And it was one of those learning lessons where at the time, in the very beginning, it was like, wow, like, sucks. Like, this absolutely freaking sucks. And I thank Jenny for this a lot, was, kind of changing the mindset, the perspective on that was, we could have taken it two ways, right? We could have said, man, real estate is really mean. There are a bunch of sharks out there. We don't want any part of this. We'll just go work a 9 to 5, be safe, and don't talk to me, right? But we did the latter, right? Which was, we said, hey, you know what? The situation sucks, but what are the things that we can learn from this? And let's never make sure we never freaking make the same mistake again, right? And that's what we did.
So let me ask you this, Gavin. You said she took the profit. I believe you said it was a female. When I said that, I wasn't making a judgment. Okay. So you said she took the money, the investment and the profit, she flipped it into another one. It's been 7 years. Did the other one fail? Did she just keep flipping the money and she's just not releasing it back to you and she just keeps making you more and one day you'll see it? Or do you have no idea where this person is 7 years later?
No, I'm pretty sure she's bankrupt now. and I'm not sure which project failed, but she was not. We were not the only people, I guess.
Of course.
Put it that way. We've been reached out to on social media saying, "Hey, do you know this person? Because she owes us money too." And we say, "Hey, take a number."
All right. Got it. So lesson learned, no matter who they are, in writing.
In writing, trust but verify. Trust and verify.
There you go. Trust and verify. Jennie, give me a mistake, maybe a different one that you know that you guys have come across, that you've experienced along the way, that's a learning lesson for our audience who wants to make more money. They want to make more time for themselves. So they want to become an investor like you. What's a mistake that they should be warned off of right away?
Yeah. Just some of the things is being able to take everything with like what I've learned is just being able to give a gift. Like, what is this gift in this moment? There's been a lot of struggles, a lot of different emotional battles of going and building a team and all that. So that's where some of the mistakes I always learn, like, hey, how do we just shift our mindset and say, like, what is a gift in this moment? But that was one of the biggest ones of being able to invest in this. But it was like, hey, it was actually not a mistake. It was a gift to be able to learn and dive into to realize, hey, $100,000 is not a lot of money, but it is a lot of money. But it's like, how can we be able to make more and like, hey, make $1 million and realize, okay, it's only 10% of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
$100,000 is not a lot of money when you're talking about $1 million, $2 million, when you're talking about Elon Musk buying Twitter, something along those lines. But $100,000 is a lot of money to a lot of people who are struggling just to make their next monthly payment.
Yeah. And Chad, something to kind of piggyback on that is, I think if we didn't lose that 100 grand at the very beginning, like we wouldn't have done what we've done now.
Right.
That like was a defining moment that I think we've shifted our mind and say, well, thank you for that. Like, yeah, it sucked, but it made us the people that we are today. Like tougher skin, bigger skin, understanding like, hey, what's the gift and everything. And you take that perspective, like two people can take the same situation and say, one person can say, why is this happening to me? And the other person can say, why is this happening for me? And I guarantee you the latter will have a very more happy life and less stressful.
Yeah, that's a great point you bring up, Calvin. We did a whole episode on reframing your thoughts where Ben talked about that. And it seems to me like the two of you advanced forward and reframed your thoughts correctly on it. Okay, we got a whole bunch of stuff I want to get into because I want to help our audience make money. Yet there's something you guys have built called the Zen Coast University. So Jennie, tell me a little bit about Zen Coast University.
And it all stemmed from Instagram, where we connected with our network of showing them like, hey, we just closed on a 16 unit. And then people kept on asking us, hey, how did you do this? So we decided to create a community and a platform. So Zen being a peace of mind solutions from A to Z of how to be able to invest in real estate, from being able to wholesale, buy properties, long-term rentals, Airbnbs, and midterm rentals, furnished binders. And then the coast part is we really dive into people's vivid visions of what they want and they want to accomplish 5 years from now, someday goals, and be able to work backwards from that. What does it feel like? What is it? Well, the sensations like as well too. So we have that exercise. So how can we coast through your life? And then we created a university aspect, the community aspect, where people are able to enjoy and see people go through the struggles together too. And accountability. Accountability is one of the biggest things that people are missing, where they're like, okay, I can just listen to all these podcasts, read these books, watch on YouTube and YouTube at university, but they don't take action. So once we created this university, was able to really foster and help over close to about 200 students in the last year and a half buy and invest in real estate. And they share with us every single day, hey, Jennie and Calvin, you've changed our lives. So that's where we really wanted to give back as well too. We hit a point where it's like, okay, we hit our passive income goal, but we weren't really fulfilled. But now being able to give back, that's something we really feel blessed and honored to be able to create this community that people feel safe in to share their thoughts, share about money, and share about these ideas that other people aren't talking about outside.
Yeah, we believe that huge at Win, Make, Give, of course, that we have to talk about money. We have to talk about this stuff. We have to learn the lessons. So many of us were raised where, people with lots of money were bad. just because we didn't have lots of money. So it was like, hey, money is, it's good for what it does, right? And all that stuff. And that we've talked about that plenty of times in the wealth series and in many, many episodes. So I get what you're saying there. I can earn a degree at Zen Coast University because I never finished university myself. This is a school I might want to attend, though.
Absolutely. If it aligns with your morals and what your purpose is in life. And I kind of think to your point too, the money aspect, some people think that, people are rich. If you say, hey, rich people are blank, what are most people going to say? Like evil, right? And I think that perspective is more like, well, what are they going to do with that wealth? Right? What's your purpose? If it's just to go buy a Lambo or a G6 or whatever it is, like maybe that I can understand that, right? But if it's more about like, hey, like I want to help people. I want to make an impact on this world that's better. I want to, one of our students, I love this story. He's in real estate investing because his mom's from Jamaica and this village in Jamaica where they got washed away in a monsoon, right? And his why, right, is, hey, I want to get abundant enough, right, so I can go back and rebuild this village and then give those kids the same opportunity I had growing up in America. So I was like, holy crap, like that is like just so inspirational, right? And he's crushing it not because he's looking for the next buck, but he's looking to on a bigger picture, like, hey, I have a bigger vision in life, I have a bigger purpose.
Okay, so do I have to take out a student loan to go to Zen Coast University? I mean, am I going to be in that situation, or is this something that I'm going to go and I'm going to dive into and I'm going to follow along? Can I be a lurker for our audience who's sitting there saying, I don't know about investing, I want to learn more about it? Is Zen Coast University for them if they're not ready?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question. So a couple of ways to go about that right there is, hey, one is, we always want to give away free information and free value, right? Like it's always about just understanding like, what is like the end goal for you? Like, why are you doing this? And if you understand what your end goal is and you understand that real estate is that vehicle for you, because there's so many different vehicles. You can go to cryptocurrency, you buy an NFT, you can go any of the stuff, buy Twitter stock, whatever it is, right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, I guess. Yeah, not anymore. You could have bought Twitter stock, but not anymore. But I think at that point, it's like, you're just trying to figure out like, all right, well, what do I want in my life? How do I design my life the way I want to live it? And then what's the vehicle to help me get there? For some people, it might be a W-2. For some people, it might be real estate. For some people, it might be cryptocurrency, right? And so, I think at some point, when people start to realize that, hey, I know I want to live a bigger life. And I think that real estate might be the vehicle that makes sense for me, just like it did for Jennie and I when it clicked back in the day. Then yeah, come follow us and we'll have a conversation.
Okay, so is it Zen Coast University? I mean, do I go to zencoastuniversity.com to find more, or is it just the hashtag on Instagram?
No, you got it, zencoastuniversity.com.
Okay.
Yep.
So folks, check it out, zencoastuniversity.com, if you want to know more with Calvin and with Jennie about investing and your personal situation. Look, we know, what do we know? At Win Make Give, we know real estate is a smart investment, right? Now, of all the investments, I said this earlier, it's probably the biggest investment to have to get into, right? You could go buy into stock. Oh, I got $10 sitting around. Let me just start buying stock with it here, $10 there. No, real estate, I got to start to save and have some money and some equity to be able to work with. Talk to me about this, guys. What are some ways you've found for people maybe to be able to jump into real estate investment that don't have that $100,000 sitting in the bank right now? Because there's people who don't.
I have a great first riddle for you, Chad.
Riddles. Okay.
What is the most valuable and expensive piece of real estate out there?
The most valuable and expensive piece of real estate. Well, I could get all like thought into this and go between my ears. I don't know. What's the answer, Jennie?
Yes, you had it almost right, but between your ears, your mind, and your brain, because that's where you can keep building on. Your mindset is the biggest shift, and that's what we focus on. It's your mindset shifts of being able to have that confidence, doing, and having that confidence to be able to make the changes and in yourself. So if you're not investing in yourself of your growth, then you're not going to be able to have the knowledge and surround yourself with the right people to be able to go further. So I would say that's the first step, is like read the books, listen to podcasts, amazing podcast you have here, but work on yourself first to be able to dive into that. But to answer your question for real estate investing, like we've been teaching a lot of students who are young. Like our youngest student is 21 years old and just straight out of college, not much money, but they're able to go and figure out Airbnb arbitrage and how we're able to get a personal line of credit to buy furniture. And one of our students have been able to make 12 different Airbnbs without even owning any property. And he's making about $50,000 passively per month from that right now. So those are just some of the great ways where there's so many channels of doing it, and you just have to figure out which one is right for you and your current situation of life.
Okay. So before you jump in, Calvin, because I can see you're like, wait, I got an answer on that. Jennie, I'm going to put you on the spot. You mentioned your youngest person that you're working with right now is 21. Do you know what the oldest person you're working with right now is?
Probably in their late 50s, early 60s.
Okay, so it's not too late for people that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s even to still want to jump in and learn and work with you guys and see what the opportunities are for creating wealth still at the end of their working life.
Exactly.
Okay. Calvin, you were sitting there. I could see you chomping at the bit. We don't record the video for everybody. That's just for me to make this a little easier. What did you want to jump in there and say?
Yeah, I think I agree with Jennie too. And it's like, yeah, you always want to.
That's a good lesson for a future husband. Just
exactly.
agree with Jennie.
There, guys. We may give a wedding series right there. But I always think that there's really three assets that you have in investing, right? You had mentioned before, hey, like how do you get started? What if you don't have equity? What if you don't have cash, right? I say that you have time, you have capital, or you have knowledge and experience, right? Okay. And if you don't have one of those, you don't have the other one, then you got to make sure you have one of those, right? To make sure that you can provide any kind of value. And so when I always talk to the students, it's like, oh, we don't have capital, you don't have knowledge. Great. Well, you have time. Go freaking find a deal, right? And go bring it to someone and say, hey, let's go partner. Cool. I have capital, but I don't have time. Cool. That situation. Hey, let's go partner with someone who's going to find deals, right? I don't have the time. I work a W-2. I work 60 hours a week. I don't have time to go find deals. Perfect. You can find someone for that. If you have the knowledge, you don't have the other two. Guess what? Like you can find a way to creatively structure deals. I always think, and I don't want to get too much into the weeds, chats. If I do, just let me know. But
you're okay.
Like most people think when they go get investment properties, they think, oh, well, I'll just walk into a Wells Fargo, right? I'll get a 20% down loan, and I'll do a Fannie Freddie loan, right? But there's so many different ways to structure a deal. I think a lot of people think that, hey, it's where you buy the deal that you make money. And I think that's mostly correct, right? But the other half of that is how you structure your deal, right? In terms of your terms and what kind of structure you have in there. So creative financing, right? Seller financing, private money, hard money. Like there's DSCR loans. There's so many different ways that you can structure a deal. Or we just did a 23 unit in January and put zero money down, right? Because we were able to structure and then negotiate and execute by getting the deal done that way. And yeah, did it take some time to negotiate and a lot of back and forth returns? It sure did. But if you know what tools are in your tool belt, then anything's possible.
And are these tools we would learn if we were students at Zen Coast University?
Absolutely, Chad. You'll be our star student there, dude.
Okay. I'm just making sure that I know what the university is going to teach me. And sometimes, folks, maybe it's you don't need to go take class yet. Who do you need to take that class with at the university? I'm putting quotes around that as I'm talking about it, right? Maybe you need to bring that spouse along who's a little hesitant to jump in, or maybe you need to bring that family member along that has the funds that you're attempting to be that person who can make the connection and get involved in the deals. Okay, so Chris, or why do I want to keep calling you Chris? It's Calvin. I know what your name is. To me, you're now Chris forever. I don't know. There must be something written here somewhere that I keep seeing the word Chris. So forgive me, Calvin. What is a good deal? You mentioned in there, structuring a deal. Who wants to jump on this one first? Tell me what I should be looking for a good deal.
Yeah, let me kind of jump in here first because I hear this question, and Jennie's a realtor, obviously, and it's funny. Some clients will call her up and be like, "Hey, Jennie, hey, send me your best deal," right? And I'm like, "What? What does that mean? That could be so much different." Like, Chad, like a good deal for you could be different than a good deal for me, right? Like, I think it all goes back to, well, what do you want in life? What are you trying to get out of this investment? And we're all in different places in life, right? We have different goals and aspirations. We have different financial situations. We have different risk tolerances. We have different lifestyles. Right? We don't need kids, so we can be more risk averse, right? So I think you got to take all those different factors and combine it and say, well, based off that, like, what am I trying to buy? Right? Like, what matches my criteria in a way? And I think that is kind of how you define a good deal or not. Is does it match the criteria that is for me? And does my criteria match what my end goal is trying to be as well?
Okay.
And I'm not going to consider and say cash on cash return or IRR, blah blah blah, right? Like, I don't think any of that makes a difference if you know what you're trying to target and what you're trying to use real estate for, right? And whatever deal can help you move the needle on that, that's a good deal.
So there's going to be people who want an Airbnb type place because they're going to want to move out to the beach at some point, but for now they want to buy it and make it a rental. There are going to be some people who just want something that's a Section 8 property because they know they get the government money on it or whatever. There's going to be, so you're saying a good deal. I could ask that, yet that would be completely dependent on the person and there's a lot more behind it. Jennie, is that accurate to say that?
Yeah, definitely is. I think if you're going into the tactical aspects, it's first thing is making sure that it's in a growing market and also somewhere where you feel safe to go to if you ever have to go there. So those are my two criterias.
Okay, got it. So a growing market and somewhere that you would feel safe going to if you ever had to, not being nervous and needing a police escort to get there.
Exactly.
Okay, got it. You both mentioned in there reading the books. Now, Calvin threw out Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So that one's off the list. All right, we're going to play a little game right here, and I'm going to let the lady go first again. Jennie, one book. If they were going to read the book, and Rich Dad, Poor Dad's off the list because Calvin already said that one, what's the book they should read?
Loopholes of Real Estate.
Loopholes of Real Estate. All right, Calvin, to you, what's the book they should read?
I'm going to go with Atomic Habits.
Interesting. Not even about real estate. It's just about the growth and the habits that you're developing in there. All right, back to you, Jennie. We're going to ping pong this until somebody takes too long to come up with an answer. Jennie, next book on the list.
Would be Tax-Free Wealth.
Tax-Free Wealth. All right, we'll go back to Calvin.
Right now, I swear. Millionaire Real Estate Investor Next Door, Gary Keller.
Okay. Jennie?
You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero.
So she's got a You're a Badass at Making Money. There's a specific one. I know you're a badass. There's a You're a Badass at Making Money?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Calvin?
Who Not How.
Who Not How. Jennie?
The Second Mountain.
What was that?
The Second Mountain.
The Second Mountain. All right. Calvin?
Attraction.
Okay. Jennie?
As a Real Estate Agent, Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Okay. Calvin?
Oh, man. Money by Tony Robbins.
Okay. Jennie?
I really love Marie Kondo's The Magic of Tidying Up and just being able to get your stuff in order in life, then be able to go out there and do the rest of the business aspect. That's what really helped me.
Wow. And one last one. Calvin, you're on the spot. What do you got?
Oh, man. Captain Underpants. Yeah. Life-changing right there.
Okay. So we finished with Marie Kondo and Captain Underpants to round up our books.
Tier right there. You're getting to the second tier right there.
Okay. Now we're getting a little bit out there. All right. So folks, go back, rewind, go back about 2 minutes and just grab a list of books that these two have been reading and are sharing. Some of them were real estate specific. Some of them were not. Some of them were. And as Jennie quizzed me with her riddle early that, thank goodness I pulled off. She hadn't given me a warning on it, right? It's the mind game, right? From Atomic Habits to Marie Kondo stuff. A lot of that's not necessarily how to buy, how to invest, how to make money. That stuff's just about how to get your life and your head in the right place. Agreed?
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay. So, Jennie, let me come to you on this one. What's the most important lesson that you've learned as an investor that you want to share with our audience?
First thing is really understanding why are you investing? What is the big vision? So when I started, my big vision was to help my parents retire. They're immigrants from China, working since they were 12, 13 years old, and not flipping shoes, but doing more laborious work, and came out to America still working 14-hour days, 7 days a week. So they were my big why. I put it every single day in my calendar to call my mom and dad in the morning and just see how they're doing and make my purpose to be able to help them retire. So I'm excited to say, hey, they're flying in tonight and I bought them a house that I renovated and they're going to be moving to the Bay Area and able to retire fully. And it's because
Jennie, hang on. Before you go any farther, you're making the rest of us look real bad. I just want you to know that. You're making the rest of us look real bad. I am sure my mother, who listens to Win, Make, Give, is texting me whenever this episode drops. So she's hearing this saying, oh, look what she's doing for her mom. Right? Thanks a lot there, Jennie. I really appreciate that. So,
but that was my big why. And that's something where that's the first lesson and why I got into it.
okay. Calvin, how about you? What's the most important lesson you've learned over your career as an investor?
Yeah, I'm going to cheat and say there's two big things that really come to my mind, right? One is just going out and freaking doing it, like just taking action, right? I think a lot of people get stuck in analysis paralysis, like, oh, I should do this, or I should pick this market or this market, and they just never take action. Oh yeah, actually, I'm going to do crypto instead, right? So just taking action, that's number one. But number two, I think what really helped in our journey so far is partnerships, right? That who, not how, like I mentioned before, like if you want to scale it, like you're going to have to find people to go with, right? And know what your superpower is and find out what you don't like doing. What's light to you, what's heavy to you, right? If it's light to you and it gives you freaking energy and you're good at it, hell yeah, jump into it full force. If you hate doing it, right? And it's heavy to you and you're like, I'm not even good at this, find someone. Like there's so many people out there that you can just perfectly fit with. And I can't even tell you how much the partners I've met in my life, including Jennie, right? Your spouse is your number one partner. Again, nice, marriage lessons right there.
Good job. Yep. Double chin. Double chin.
But, how they really changed my life to give me the ability to do things that I love doing every day.
Okay. Now, Calvin, I had the opportunity to hear this story not too long ago when I was sitting talking with you guys. And I understand the main reason why you're marrying Jennie, other than she's an amazing person and you're getting that opportunity. It was you had been losing bet after bet after bet. And so tell this story to everybody. How did this whole investing thing really begin with you guys?
Yeah, you got to put me on the spot like that. All right, Jennie, you can go on this one.
Yeah, so before we got engaged, I left my tech sales job where we met at Oracle, and I went into real estate sales. And then Calvin stayed in tech sales and worked for an HR company. And we're both commissions. And we said, hey, whoever makes more money, the loser has to buy the winner an investment property that year. So we were very competitive. The first year I won, and I think the second year I won. Calvin won the third year and I won the fourth year. So 3 out of 4 years. So we always made it a competition of like being able to increase our units from that way.
Okay. Yeah, so over those 4 years, Calvin, you had to buy Jennie 3 investment properties. She only had to buy you 1. So then you got smart and just decided to marry the lady so that those 3 also became yours.
That's right. For your listeners, return on investment. I lock it down at that point, right? At that point, I was too much in the hole. I had to just lock it down or I'd lose much equity. So
there you go. All right. Smart move on your part. I'm sure there's 101 other wonderful reasons to marry someone like Jennie. Yet, boy, you married yourself into some investment properties that you had the pleasure of buying for her anyway. Okay. So gang, here's the thing. We've got Zen Coast University and they can find out more from you guys there. We've talked about what a good deal looks like, and that's who knows. It's going to depend on the person. You gave us a list of books as I put you on the spot there. No prep to come up with that. You shared with us some lessons. You shared with us some mistakes and stuff that came from it. What's the thing you haven't shared? What's the thing that you were sitting here saying, hey, we're going to be on Win, Make, Give. We're going to talk with Chad. I got to make sure I tell the audience this when it comes to real estate investing. Is there something I haven't asked, we haven't poked at that hasn't come up yet?
So for our motto is passive income for passive impact. And that's where we just really want to be able to figure out how can we impact and create that ripple effect. So that's a coast side of our business is being able to create that ripple effect to how many lives can we change? Because then they can go back and change their friends and their family. So really look at what your impact that you're going to create. And it's not just the money of it, but how much you're going to be able to live such a happy life from there.
Now, I know she stole your answer, Calvin. I could see it on your eyes. You were like, dang, she got to me first.
Well,
Do you want to dive deeper, or is there something else you want to give our
there's
audience?
something else, but I just want to say this is why I'm marrying her, right? Like she literally like so synced up there. So love it. That's awesome. I think the other thing is just this whole concept of identity that I love, I'm enamored with, because I know it helped me a lot. And when I was in my W-2, and I'm sure a lot of the listeners right now or maybe they have a job, a W-2 that maybe they don't love. And for me, like, my identity was so wrapped around my W-2 job, being in tech sales, right? And I thought it's where I got my self-worth. I thought that's why literally why I thought my parents were proud of me, kind of thing, right? To that point where it's kind of sad at that point. But, what I'm trying to say is, like, with that being said, like, even when we had enough passive income in our real estate that it replaced my W-2 income, I just couldn't leave because I had the golden shackles, right? I had it was my identity. And one of my mentors told me, he was like, what you need to do actually is you're afraid because you don't have a new identity to step into. And I was like, you're right. Like, I don't know what I would do on a day-to-day basis. I don't know what identity I want to be. And so once I created that new identity, that person that I wanted to be, the person I wanted to manifest myself into, then I felt okay to let go of this old identity that wasn't serving me, right? And I guess to kind of wrap this up in a bow is, what I'm trying to say is, like, real estate, stocks, crypto, whatever your wealth building vehicle is, like, the whole concept of being able to change your identity and step into the person that you want to be, and become the human being that is a good human being along the way. That's really what the fun about this is, right? It's the journey, right? That's the journey, right? Not how much money I've made or how much what I drive or whatever it is. Like, it's all about, the people you meet along and who you become along the way. And this is what I've learned.
Love it. Love it. All right. So we got passive income for passive impact. Talking about two people who are making an impact and making a difference here on Win, Make, Give. We've got Calvin Chin and Jennie Locke, #double chin. Make sure you're following that. Make sure you're checking out Zen Coast University to find out more if you want to connect with these two about the opportunity, about how you can jump into starting to have some wealth creation in the real estate world. On behalf of Ben, on behalf of Bob, who are not here with me today. Why? Because I just didn't want them to get in my way. I wanted the pleasure to share with you guys and share with our audience. I really appreciate you joining us. Folks, as always, remember to come to our Facebook group. That's the Win, Make, Give Facebook group, where we discuss stuff like this after, where we go deeper, where we can connect you to these people or these books if you're not catching the stuff in the show notes. We are there to help and make an impact in your worlds as well. And until our next episode, as always, do good.